Start with the hardware. In my case, it's an Arasaka. Always use them. Dependable. I like to stack a little Kevlar on my back to cover my bets. With a good helmet on top too. Then I get down to the basics. Extra ammo, usually armor piercing. A couple knives, including a good monoblade. Some grenades just in case. You never know what parking problems you'll encounter. Lieutenant Red Napalm, NCPD, Psycho Squad. Section 5. Getting fitted for the future. The outfit. The cyberpunk future is mobile. Like the cowboys of the Old West, most people carry their lives on their backs. Miniaturized sleeping, eating, and entertainment components crammed into carry-alls and the back seats of cars. The stuff you carry around is known in street slang as your outfit. A typical outfit might include an inflatable bed that folds into a 6x6 inch package for easy storage, a compressible down sleep bag watched to the size of a paperback book, micro stereo compo, a microized boom box with stereo speakers or headphones, possibly CD, chip/tape player, TV, and certainly radio. Handful of tapes or data chips, laptop or pocket computer for notes, writing, business, links to computer networks, cyber modem, cables for netrunners, pocket cellular phone. The phone is bought, the service is rented by the month. Handgun, knife, or both, possibly an assault rifle or SMG, and a couple backups as well, always extra ammo. Body armor, usually an armor jacket or bulletproof t-shirt, personal things like clothes, toothbrushes, etc. Most of this is crammed into a shoulder bag or duffel sack. Most cyberpunk characters aren't much for settling down. Rocker boys always have the next gig. Solos have to keep moving, the next job requires it. And you keep moving anyway before your enemies figure out where you're sleeping these days. Cops, netrunners, medias, and techies are always on the move, on stakeouts, hard stories, or running from the various people you brought down on yourself with your net running. Nomads, well, they don't have homes to start with, and what good is it if you can't cram it on the back of your bike anyway? Even a corporate may find himself living out of a coffin in the Tokyo airport if times get rough. Your outfit, your worldly possessions stuffed into a 2x4 carry bag. Money in 2020. For years, everyone in the late 20th century thought the currency of the future would be the Japanese yen. But only one country uses the yen on a regular basis, whereas a lot of countries use the dollar interchangeably with their own. The modern euro dollar is based in part of the US dollar's universal appeal. At the start of the 1992 treaty that established the European Economic Community, the EEC created the Eurodollar, EB, based on an average of US, French, German, British, and Japanese currencies. At first this sounded great. The Eurodollar was pegged to a strong currency and everyone assumed the US would remain relatively stable. They was wrong. Eurodollars are pretty much the standard of currency in the 2020 world, accepted in the US, Japan, the Far East, and what's left of the Middle East. The catch is that thanks to the collapse and the deficit, the current US dollar is usually worth less than its relatives. So on a 1-to-1 currency exchange rate, this means you get about 1 Eurodollar for every 2 American dollars. The point is, a computer society makes it easy for people to live like campers all the time. Why should you have to go home to listen to your favorite music when you can carry your CD player with you? Missing phone calls and hate answering machines? You carry your phone with you and plug it into the cellular network, making your business calls on the run from your favorite restaurant or while driving your car. Why bother with cooking when you can grab something quick from 100 fast food stores? Why keep clothes when you can use them till they wear out, then buy new ones? You'll rent a sleeping cube for the night, put up your personal stuff, and blow out in the morning. Remember, the future is disposable. Yeah, the future is disposable. So are you, homeboy. Razorjack. The key to any cyberpunk game is thinking cyberpunk. Think rootless and mobile. You don't know where you're sleeping tonight, and you don't care. You've got a bed in your bag, some tunes in your pocket, some cash for food, and a gun to make sure no one takes anything away from you. Starting funds. So how much do you start with? Well, that depends on your job. A job? Yeah, even in the dark future, you gotta pay the bills, Chumbada. And you want a job, because it's a real short slip between being able to eat real pack and fresh vegetables and being reduced to eating kibble and living in a filthy flop cube. How good a job you currently have is based on the level of your special ability. For example, a rocker with a charismatic leadership of 2 isn't gonna draw crowds like Carrie Aerodyne, a hot mega rocker. This means he'll be reduced to playing gigs wherever he can get them. Sleazoid dives, bar mitzvahs, weddings, bar fights, you name it. The occupation table has sections for columns 1 through 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. If any of your special ability scores are 1 through 5, you are pretty low on earning income and your title. Once you start going past 6 or greater, then that's when you earn more money and you also have a more prestigious title. Take a quick jump at the occupation table on page 58. Find your role, or the role closest to it, cross-reference it to your current special ability level, and that'll give you a monthly salary. Multiply this amount by a 1d6 divided by 3 to determine the number of months you've currently been employed, and that gives you the total amount of the cash that your character starts out with. Exactly how you earn your euro is up to you. The categories are deliberately vague to give you plenty of role-playing room. Maybe as a level 7 solo you don't want to work for a corporation, no problem. It's only a general description of where you fit on the solo hierarchy. For all we know, you work on the extraction team for Amnesty International. One last thing, roll one more d6. If you roll higher than a 4, you just got unemployed. Congratulations, bet you can taste the kibble already. Encumbrance. In most cases, encumbrance isn't a big problem for a Cyberpunk character. He's going to keep a majority of his gear in his apartment or his car. A Cyberpunk character can carry around as much in kilograms as the number of points invested in his body type stat, multiplied by 10. He can deadlift 40 times his body type stat. Example, I have spent 6 points to get an average body type. I can carry up to 60 kilograms, roughly 132 pounds. I can deadlift 240 kilograms, about 528 pounds. Rather than list exact weights of everything you could possibly want to carry, we have arranged a simpler system of classification. The following weight groups are more useful to a referee who must make a general determination of how much a player can carry. 0.5 kilos or less, a box of ammo, cellular phone, personal stereo, pocket computer, cyber modem, interface cables, pocket TV, digital camera, small recorder, flashlight, binoculars, Swiss Army knife, article of clothing, fighting knife, switchblade, mirror shades, light pistol, nylon carry bag, Kevlar helmet. 1 kilo or less, medium to heavy handgun, sleeping bag, radio chip player, video camera, toolkit, medical kit, laptop computer, armor vest, t-shirt. 3 kilos would be a submachine gun, very heavy pistol, electric guitar, drum synthesizer, inflatable bed, light to medium assault rifle, shotgun, armor jacket, Kevlar flak pants, or vest. 4 kilos would include an electric keyboard, amplifier, or heavy assault rifle. The only difference between most people and us nomads is that nomads have better cars. Nomad Santiago. I see you guys walking around all the time with big assault rifles slung over their armored shoulders. Dumb. That's like putting a neon hollow sign that says, "Hey, I'm a solo, shoot me." Morgan Blackhand. Weapons. The first thing your Cyberpunk is going to want is some weapons. Weapons can get you out of a bad situation a lot faster than a great stereo. Cyberpunk weapons break into 7 types. Submachine guns, SMGs, are any type of weapon which may fire either automatically or semi-automatically, using only pistol ammunition. Shotguns, or SHG, are any weapons which fire pellets or other small particles instead of a solid slug. Rifles, or RIF, include assault rifles, carbines, and fully automatic rifles. These weapons always fire rifle-type ammunition. Heavy weapons, or HVY, including missiles, grenades, heavy cannon, etc. Melee weapons, melee, include swords, daggers, knives, martial arts weapons, polearms, etc. Exotic weapons, or EX. These are bows, lasers, flaget weapons, air guns, and microwave weapons, the real sci-fi weapons of the Cyberpunk universe. Weapon codes. Each weapon is represented by certain characteristics, such as its type, damage, range, accuracy, concealability, availability, and cost. These factors are recorded as a weapon code, a profile of the weapon in order of name, type, accuracy, concealability, availability, damage, ammunition, number of shots, rate of fire, and reliability. For an example, a weapon with the code Minami 10 SMG 0JE 2d6 plus 3 10mm 4020 VR would be an accurate Minami 10 submachine gun SMG, which can be hidden under a jacket, J, with excellent availability, E, fires 10mm ammunition and has a 40 shot clip, can fire up to 20 rounds per combat round on full auto, and is very reliable. Descriptions of weapon codes follow. Accuracy. This is how good the weapon really is. Weapons are rated from -3 to +3 on accuracy, with a 0 being an average level of accuracy. Concealability, how easily they can be hidden until needed, an important factor in combat weapons. A smart combat gunner doesn't want to walk into a bar with a shotgun protruding from underneath his coat. It's going to cause trouble. He also needs to be able to carry holdouts in the event of a capture or disarmament. Pocket, pants legs, or sleeves count as P. Jacket, coat, or shoulder rig count as J. Long coat count as L. And can't be hidden count as N. Availability. This is how difficult the weapon is to find on an open market. Excellent is rated at E, could be found anywhere. Common is rated at C, can be found in most sports and gun stores or on the street. Poor is considered P, specialty weapons, black markets, and stolen military. And rare is R, stolen, one of a kind, special military issue, may be highly illegal. Damage ammunition. Each weapon is rated as the type of ammunition it carries and the damage of that ammunition in numbers of dice thrown. Number of shots. This is how many shots are held in the standard clip, magazine, or quiver for that weapon style. Rate of fire. This is how many shots the weapon can fire in a single combat round, which is approximately 3.2 seconds. Reliability. This is how reliable the weapon is in combat. Its chance of jamming on an auto fire, etc. Very reliable counts as VR. Standard is ST, and unreliable is UR. Light auto pistols include a Budget Arms C13, a Die-Lung Cybermag 15, a Federated Arms X22. Medium auto pistols include Militech Arms Avenger, Die-Lung Streetmaster, Federated Arms X9mm. Heavy auto pistols include a Budget Arms Auto 3, a Sternmeyer Type 35. Very heavy auto pistols include Armalite 44, Colt AMT Model 2000. Light submachine guns include Uzi Mini-Auto 9, H&K MP 2013, Federated Arms Tech Assault 2. Medium submachine guns include Arasaka Minami 10, H&K MPK 9. Heavy machine guns include a Sternmeyer SMG 21, H&K MPK 11, Ingram Mac 14. Assault rifles have Militech Ronin Light Assault Rifle, AKR 20 Medium Assault, FN RAL Heavy Assault Rifle, and a Kalashnikov A80 heavy rifle. Shotguns include Arasaka Rapid Assault 12, a Sternmeyer Stakeout 10. Heavy weapons include Barrett Arasaka Light 20mm, Scorpion 16 Missile Launcher, Militech Arms RPG-A, Grenade, C6 Plastic Explosives, Mine of all types, KA F253 Flamethrower. Key. WA is weapon accuracy. Concealability is equal to the listed. Availability is equal to a list. Damage and ammo, most of the 2000s are rated in millimeters. Number of shots in a standard clip or load. ROF is rate of fire per turn, and range is equal to long range. Exotics. Tektronica 15 Microwaver, Militech Electronic Laser Cannon, Avante P1135 Needle Gun, Enertex AKM Power Squirt, Nelspot Wombat, Militech Electronics Taser, EagleTech Tomcat Seabow, EagleTech Striker X-Bow. Melee weapons. No, most melee weapons are available on the open market and have a rate of fire of 1, a weapon accuracy of 0, and no reloads. Kendachi Mono Knife, Kendachi Mono Katana, SPM-1 Battle Glove. See page 98 for microwave damage. Weapon descriptions. No, all 2020 weapons are caseless ammunition, composite carbon fiber designs. Light auto pistols. Budget Arms C13, a light-duty auto pistol used as a holdout and ladies' gun. Die-Lung Cybermag 15, cheap Hong Kong knockoff, often used by boosters and other street trash. Federated Arms X22, the ubiquitous polymer one-shot cheap plastic pistol, available in designer colors. Medium auto pistols. Militech Arms Avenger, a well-made auto pistol with good range and accuracy, a professional's gun. Die-Lung Streetmaster, another Die-Lung cheapie, built for the street. Federated Arms X9mm, a sturdy solos gun used as a standard military sidearm in the US and ECC. Heavy auto pistols. Budget Arms Auto 3. It's cheap, it's powerful, it blows up sometimes. What else do you want? Sternmeyer Tape 35. Rugged, reliable, with excellent stopping power. Another fine ECC product from the United Germanies. Very heavy auto pistols. Designed as an alternate to the 1998 US Army sidearm trials. A solid contender. Colt AMT Model 2000. Now the standard officer's sidearm for the US Army. The M2000 serves well in the Central American Wars. Light submachine guns, the Uzi Mini-Auto 9. Uzi's entry into the 21st century, all plastic, with a rotary electric clip and adjustable trigger. The choice for many security solos. H&K MP 2013. Heckler & Koch's update of the MP5K Classic, with compounding plastic and built-in silencing. Federated Arms Tech Assault 2. An updated version of the venerable Tech Assault 1 features larger clip, better auto fire, no melting. Honest. Medium submachine guns, Arasaka Minami 10, the standard Arasaka security weapon, found worldwide, a good all-around weapon. H&K MPK 9, a light composite submachine gun with integral sights, used by many Euro solos. Heavy submachine guns, Sternmeyer SMG-21. Sternmeyer's best entry in the anti-terrorist category, with wide use on C-SWAT teams and Psycho Squads. H&K MPK-11, possibly the most used solos gun in existence. The MPK-11 can be modified into 4 different designs, including a bullpup configuration, standard SMG, an assault carbine, and a grenade launcher mount. Engram MAC-14, updated MAC-10 with composite body and cylindrical feeding magazine. Assault rifles, Militech Ronin Light Assault, a light all-purpose update similar to the M16B. AKR-20 Medium Assault, a plastic and carbon fiber update of the AKM, distributed throughout the remains of the Soviet bloc. FN-RAL, a heavy assault rifle, the standard NATO assault weapon for battlefield work, bullpup design, collapsing stock. Kalashnikov A80 heavy assault rifle, another Soviet retread, with improved sighting and lightened with composites. Shotguns, Arasaka Rapid Assault Shot 12, a high-powered auto shotgun with lethal firepower, used by Arasaka worldwide, another good reason to avoid the boys in black. Sternmeyer Stakeout 10, light-duty stakeout shotgun used by city police departments. Heavy weapons, Barrett Arasaka Light 20mm, the Cyber Psycho hunter's favorite, almost 2 meters long. This cannon fires a depleted uranium shell at supersonic speeds. Heavy AP subcaliber penetrator damages armors 2 points per hit. Scorpion 16 missile launcher, the 3rd generation of the Stinger missile launcher. This shoulder arm fires 1 missile. Militech rocket grenade launcher, shoulder-mounted rocket-powered grenade launcher, heavily used in the Central American conflicts under the name RPGA. Grenade. Types include fragmentation for damage of 76, incendiary 4d6 for 3 turns, stun -5 to stun, dazzle blind for 4 turns, sonic deafen for 4 turns, gas see FNFF gas table, Friday night firefight. Grenade launchers. Launcher may be attached under barrel to any assault rifle or handheld. Range 225 meters, cost 150 eddies, not compatible with Militech's RPGA. C6 flat fire plastic explosive, gray block of plastique. Can be detonated by timer, tripwire, or signal. Mines of all types. Can be detonated by timer, tripwire, signal, or motion detector. Kenshiri Adachi F253 flamethrower. Liquefied napalm sprayer, black mounted and bulky. Does extra damage following initial hit. See Friday Night Firefight, page 110. Exotics. Tektronica 15 microwave. Flashlight-sized microwave projector. See Friday Night Firefight, page 108 for details. Militech Electronics laser cannon. Millispec laser cannon, rarely seen. See Friday Night Firefight, page 108 for details. Avante P1135 needle gun. Lightweight plastic, compressed air powered. Can be doped with drugs or poison. See Friday Night Firefight, page 107 for details. Enertech's AKM Power Squirt. A squirt gun. Yes, a powered squirt gun. See Friday Night Firefight, page 108 before you laugh. Nellspot Wombat Air Pistol. Paintball gun from hell. Can fire acid, paint, drugs, poison. See Friday Night Firefight, page 107. Militech's Electronics Taser. Zap, about the size of a small hand flashlight. See Friday Night Firefight, page 107 for details. Eagle Tech Tomcat Compound Bow. Gyro Balance Stabilized Compound Bow. Silent and deadly. Eagle Tech Striker Crossbow. Plastic and bimetal crossbow. Silent, deadly, and you usually get your ammo back. Melee weapons. Kendachi Mono Knife. Monosectional crystal blade, incredibly sharp, in the Japanese Tanto style. Also available in Naginata form for $100 extra. Kendachi Mono Katana, sword-length version of Mono Blade, resembles a high-tech katana with a milky, nearly transparent blade. SPM-1 Battle Glove. This is a large gauntlet covering the hand and forearm. It does 3d6 in crush damage, 2d6 in punch damage, and has 3 spaces which can be used to store any standard cyberarm option. For a list of common melee weapons, we have club, knife, sword, axe, nunchaku tonfa, naginata, shuriken, switchblade, brass knuckles, sledgehammer, and a chainsaw. Reloads and options. Ammunitions include, for light pistol, light submachine gun, a box of 100 will cost $15. Medium auto pistol, or SMG, has a box of 50, costing $15. Heavy pistol, heavy submachine gun, including a box of 50, will go for $18. Very heavy pistol for a box of 50 goes for $20. Assault rifle for a box of 100 will go for $40. Shotgun with a box of 12 will go for $15. 20mm cannon round 1 goes for 25, arrows for 12 go for 24, crossbow bolts for 12 go for 30, airgun pellets for 100 go for 6, needle gun rounds for 50 go for 25, flamethrower reload goes for 50, micro missile reload 4 each go for 100. Options for guns include silencers for 100, holsters of all types for $20, shoulder sling for 5. Ammos marked with a cross are armor piercing and will cost 3 times as much as their base costs. Brass case loads for old guns will cost 2 times more, and drugs or acid will cost 5 times more. Let's face it, for all the new hardware that's out there, most of it still does the same job. Throw a chunk of lead through a man's body at near supersonic speeds. Plastic frames and caseless ammo are just icing on the cake. Morgan Blackhand, The Enforcer's Handbook. Old guns never die. As late as the 1990s, there were still used models of the venerable Beretta and Webley for sale, particularly in pawn shops and on the black market. The same can be assumed for the 20th century weapons in the 21st century. Large numbers of obsolete weapons can be found at reasonable prices in any pawn shop. Prices are usually half of that of a comparable new weapon of that type, although final price is up to the referee. S&W Combat Magnum. Designed for U.S. Border Patrol use, the Combat Magnum is a popular choice among police officers. Its small frame and reliable action make it a bestseller. Liama Comanche, an excellent .44 revolver, used in home defense and police work. Its long barrel makes it hard to conceal. Colt 45 Peacemaker, the gun that won the West. The .45 was the most common U.S. sidearm throughout the 1800s. A single-action weapon, it must be cocked before firing, although later models had a flattened hammer allowing the gun to be fired by fanning the hammer. Colt 38 Detective, the most commonplace police weapon for many years. The Colt 38 has many variants, including the smaller Chief Special with their high reliability. There are many of these guns still in circulation. COP 357 Deringer. Designed as the holdout for law enforcement agents, the COP uses a unique revolving firing pin arrangement. Its small size makes it easily hidden. Uzi. Developed by the Israelis as a reliable export weapon, the Uzi is used worldwide by security forces, the U.S. Secret Service, police, and, unfortunately, terrorists and drug dealers. VZ-61 Scorpion, a standard military sidearm for the Soviet bloc. The Scorpion is the world's smallest military SMG. Its small ammunition gives it an excellent controllability. It is easily silenced and can be carried in a shoulder holster. Engram MAC-10, a very small SMG used by covert units and terrorists. It can be easily silenced. However, its very large ammo size makes it very difficult to control when it's on full auto. H&K MP5 and MP5K. 2 examples of the H&K family of interchangeable SMGs. Both share parts and design similarities. The MP5K is a very small version of the MP55D3, which has a built-in silencer. Thompson M1, standard U.S. military SMG during World War II. The Thompson is rugged, reliable, and easy to use. The M1 928 version of Gangster Frame was less reliable, UR, but could carry a 50-round drum magazine. Bushmaster, a bullpup configured SMG designed to be fired one-handed. The Bushmaster uses M16A1 clip, making it technically closer to an assault rifle than a submachine gun. FNFAL, standard NATO rifle, a very deadly assault weapon, durable and handles well. AK-47, AKM, AKMS, standard Soviet military rifle, exported worldwide, particularly by Soviet client states. Reliable, rugged, but rather difficult to control. The AK-47 is probably the most well-known weapon of its type in the world. M16A or M16A2, standard US military rifle since the 1960s. The M16 has a high accuracy and a standard rate of fire. A built-in tumble effect compensates for the light 5.56 round. Earlier M16 models were cantankerous and unreliable in the extreme, with an accuracy of 1, not 2. The AR-15 and the AR-180 are civilian models used by police and home defense. Steyr AUG, a bullpup configured rifle using high-tech plastics and aluminum. The AUG is the wave of the future. The scope is built in, giving it a great accuracy, while its rugged plastic construction gives it a reliability and strength. Winchester M70, a basic scoped hunting rifle, used to hunt deer. CAWS, close-in assault weapon, designed for house-to-house work, crowd suppression, scope is built in, making it very accurate for its type. Armor. This is the next important purchase for the well-dressed punk. Most armors in the 2000s are made of epoxide laminates, plastic mesh weaves, and thin metal or ceramic insert plates. They are light but often bulky. Each one has an encumbrance value, which is subtracted from your character's reflex, and a stopping power, SP, which refers to the ability of the armor to stop damage. The stopping power is subtracted from the amount of damage done by the hit. Armors include heavy leather, jacket or pants, for an SP of 4, good for road rash, stopping knives, etc. A good 38 slug will probably rip you to bits, however. Kevlar t-shirt or vest, SP of 10. Can be worn unnoticeably under most street clothes, will stop most rounds up to a 45 ACP. Kevlar armor jacket, SP of 14, light, 18 for medium, and 20 for heavy. Personal protection for the fashion conscious. These lightweight Kevlar jackets have nylon coverings that resemble normal jackets. Helmet, SP of 14, steel, or 20 for nylon. Heavy duty protection for the head, standard for most military. Some are made of steel, others of Kevlar and high impact plastics. Most, 90%, have face shields with half the SP level as the rest of the helmet. Flak vest / pants, SP of 20. Standard protection for combat soldiers. The flak vest is designed to stop small arms fire, grenade shrapnel, but only slow up assault rifle rounds. Door gunner's vest, SP of 25. Heavy duty protection for stationary positions, like machine gun nests, helicopter doors, etc. Metal gear, trademark, SP 25. Laminated epoxide plate armor, bulky in design in modular sections, with helmet, arm and leg coverings, torso and back clamshell. Body armor lists type of armor, covers, SP, EV, and costs. Cloth and leather, going for the arms, torso, and possibly legs, have an SP of 0, an EV of 0, and the cost varies. Heavy leather, arms, torso, possibly legs, 4, 0, 50. Kevlar t-shirt, vest, torso, 10, 0, 90. Steel helmet, head, 14, 0, 20. Light armor jacket, torso, arms, 14, 0, 150. Medium armor jacket, torso, arms, 18 plus 1, 200. Flak vest, torso, 21, 200. Flak pants, legs, 21, 200. Nylon helmet, head, 20, 0, 100. Heavy armor jacket, torso, arms, 22, 250. Door gunner's vest, torso, 25, 3, 250. And metal gear, whole body, 25, plus 2, 600. Stopping power SP refers to the ability of the armor to stop the damage. AP rounds treat all armor as half SP. Anything with a square root symbol means edge weapons treat SP as half. Crosses for EV encumbrance values should be added together and subtracted from character's total reflex stat. Special equipment. Okay, so you don't want to get all metaled up and hard into the face, nah? No problem. We got a couple of slick little gadgets to put you even up with the cybers. Battle gloves, $900. Heavy gauntlets that cover the entire hand and forearm, articulated with artificial muscle and hydraulics. A battle glove delivers 3d6 crushing, 2d6 punching damage, and has 3 spaces for any standard cyber arm weapon or option except hydraulic rams. Smart goggles, $200. Want all the advantages of getting cyber optics, but without the humanity loss? Smart goggles can be outfitted with chips to simulate the effects of up to 4 cyber optic options. Each option costs the same as a cyber optic option, less for 10%. Smart goggles come with a smart gun plug and cables, allowing the targeting scope option to be used, plus 1 to range attacks. For example, Razor Jack decides to buy a set of smart goggles. He selects thermograph, digital camera, low light, and targeting scope as options. His total cost is $200, which is the base cost, plus $990, which equals $1,190. Linear frames, price varies. A linear frame is a powered exoskeleton, giving the user tremendous strength. There are 3 levels of linear frames: Sigma, Beta, and Omega. Sigma has a 12 strength for 5,000, Beta has a 14 strength for 7,000, and Omega has a 16 strength for 9,000. Normally, exoskeletons are worn as part of a cybernetics package. See Putting the Cyber into the Punk on page 92 for more details. However, you can put on a linear frame without having it interface directly to your nervous system. Instead, you can simply chip into the suit as if it were any cyberbike or vehicle, taking a -2 reflex penalty to do so. Not bad, huh? Just make sure they don't take them off you, Chumbada. So what if armor makes you slower? You still can't outrun a bullet, but you can stop it dead in its tracks. Nomad Santiago. Following is a list of useful items for the Cyberpunk on the move. It's marked in categories ranging from fashion, tools, personal electronics, data systems, communications, surveillance, entertainment, security, medical, furnishings, vehicles, lifestyle, groceries, and housing. Starting with fashion, the clothing styles of the 2020 break into 5 basic fashion statements. Generic chic. This is the standard streetwear made up of colorful, modular components in many colors. Belts, coats, sashes, boots of predominant. Leisure wear. This is the equivalent of 21st century athletic wear. Padded fleece, corporate and athletic logos. Business wear. This is the equivalent of the standard business suit. Understated colors, pinstripes, real leather shoes, etc. Wool and other natural fabrics are considered the proper outfitting for the up-and-coming corp. High fashion, sophisticated and expensive dressing for the upper class. Designer labels like Miyake, Sifuyan, and Anne Calvin. Urban flash, video jackets, color shift fabrics, cramo leathers, metal spikes, logo wear, jeans, leather skirt, boots. The wildest and most utterly chilled in cyber fashion. Tools, tech scanner, a small handheld microcomp with various I/O connectors and probes. Tech scanners run diagnostic programs, identify and examine malfunctioning components, and display internal schematics on a small screen. Cutting torch, common oxygen and acetylene type of bottle. Handheld, about a foot long. More powerful models are available, up to thermite lances at 5 times to 15 times the cost. Tech toolkit, mixed tech of tools for repair and mechanical items, usually in a 4-inch by 16-inch by 2-inch case. Electronics kit, see above. Protective goggles, protective eyewear for welding, metal machining work, chemical mixing, etc. Flashlight, you all know what this is. Beam range of 100 feet to 120 feet. Can buy smaller pocket lights for a quarter of the range for half the normal price. Glow stick, chem light in a 6-inch plastic tube. Shake or break to activate. Soft light lasts for up to 6 hours. Comes in green, blue, and red. Flash paint, fluorescent paint gives off soft light equal to a glow stick. Lasts up to 4 hours. Flash tape, same as flash paint, lasts 6 hours, comes in a variety of widths. Ropes, braided synthetics in a variety of thicknesses and weights, can hold up to 1,000 pounds. Breathing mask, a common painter style mask, nose and mouth coverage, with 2 replaceable filters, 1 eddy per 10 pack on the sides, good for keeping out the smog. Personal electronics, hollow generator, a small box approximately 4 inches by 2 inches by 6 inches, projects a holographic picture from a replaceable chip. Generator is compatible with chips from most digital cameras, can be linked with a digital recorder or player. Video board. Monitor using flat LCD technology, no thicker than 1 inch. Most video boards are built into TVs, but all types have input plugs for use as a readout monitor for other electronic products. Large ones, 20 feet by 100 feet, are used as advertising signs. Video boards are bought by the square foot. Data chip. The storage medium of the future for holding digital information, usually plastic case. Chips come in all shapes of buttons, flat squares, and triangular silvers. All shapes can be read by all types of recording media by use of adapter plugs. Log compass, a form of programmable inertial compass that keeps track of your changes in direction from a fixed bearing or point. Digital recorder, audio recording device using data chip technology. Most are the sizes of 2 paperback books stacked flat. Some are smaller than a pack of cards. Digital camera, still images are digitized onto a chip cartridge about the size of a pack of cigarettes. Video cam can be mounted on a headset, a shoulder clamp, or handheld depending on the size. This affects price, size of recording image, duration of recording time, etc. The price is given for the most inexpensive shoulder carried model. Sound and image are usually recorded on a tape pack that is the size of a card deck or smaller, but you can direct feed to a transmission device with a set of cables. Video audio tape player. This device plays a video cam tape pack, along with many older style audio tapes. Videotape, see Videocam. Note, the videotape of 2020 is a high-density digital media capable of handling both audio and visual images. Pocket TV uses a flat screen in a package of 5 inches by 5 inches by 3/4 inches or smaller. Picks up a majority of VHF, UHF stations. Digital chip player. This plays audio and video recorded chips. You must plug into a video board to play the video track of a digital chip. Digital music chip. 1 to 6 pop album favorites, or any other music, slapped into semiconductors and plastic. These chips are also available in a read-write format as well. Electric guitar. No longer the classic axe. It's now lighter and more flexible in its applications, and sometimes not even in a recognizable shape. It may have even replaced the strings and frets with a series of key banks. Electronic keyboard. Little change from the present, except in size and power. drum synthesizers, common new wave music equipment, a series of percussion pads, and a soundbox. It will fit in a couple of suitcases and can be arranged any way the drummer pleases. Amplifier. See electronic keyboard. For more on the instruments of the 2010s or 20s, check out the supplement Rocker Boy. Data systems, laptop computer, the common portable with an internal hard drive, video board, detachable, and slots for data or programming chips. These units do not have the advanced CPUs and memory spaces available in a regular computer system. They cannot be used for net running. Pocket computer, the classic 6-inch by 3-inch by half-inch programmable calculator with keyboard and chip slots, up to 100 pages of alphanumeric memory.
Sure, you got the cyberware, you got your guns, you got your armor, but you gotta sleep somewhere, you gotta eat something besides kibble and bits. And it don't hurt if you can catch an occasional brain dance or a little video action.
The Bag Lady. Whoa, a brand new Hitachi Zendaflex? I always wanted one of those. Frack, ever since I was a punk. It's real nice of this dead guy here to give me his. Really appreciate it, Chumbada. Ripperjack. Cyber Modem, see Net Running section. Cellular Cyber Modem, see Net Running page 133. Interface cables, typical plugged splicing cables going from a cyber operated machine to a person's interface sockets. Low impedance cables, special low resistance / interference cables for improved data transfer. They confer a +1 bonus on any interfacing tasks, such as controlling cyber vehicles or net running. Trode set, a low efficiency headset for piggybacking in the net, -2 to interface skill. Keyboard can be accessed to your cyber modem or other electronic equipment. Terminal, a computer workstation including a keyboard, video board, and I/O connectors. A terminal can be used to net run, making the runner immune to most black software, but is very, very slow at a -5 to interfacing skills. Terminal operators are commonly known as net tortoises. Communications. Mastoid Como. All Comos are radio transceivers. This one is glued to the jaw and temple. You send via subvocalization and receive with soundless vibrations. Range is 10 miles. Pocket Como. A typical small walkie-talkie. Range is 10 miles. Cellular phone. Communication on the move, anywhere within the reach of a radio telephone transceiver network. There is 100 eddies per month phone service charge. Mini cell phone. It fits in a cigarette pack. Surveillance. Binoculars. Nuff said. Bino glasses. These high-tech vision aids combine binocular effects with a laser rangefinder, and sometimes IR lenses. More expensive versions will have a digital camera built in. LB goggles. Light intensification goggles boost ambient light for night vision via starlight technology. Goggles can be overwhelmed by sudden light level increase. With tuning, difficult task, they can also detect active IR beams. IR goggles. These pick up hazy background infrared sources, normally used with an active IR source for invisible illumination. IR flashlight. See above, UV flash is similar, also usable with the proper cyber optics. Line tap, a device that can pick up voice or data transmissions from a telecommunications line, then record or transmit them. The more sophisticated models need not be directly connected to the line they're monitoring. They will work up to a foot or so away, and can be remotely controlled. Line taps cannot be used on systems installed or updated after 2008 due to the complete switchover to fiber optics. Security, key lock, card lock, Voco lock. Increasingly complex methods of portable security. The key lock is a mechanical lock and must be attacked that way. Card and Voco locks are electronic. Card locks use magnetically coded card. Voco locks employ voice recognition technology. Each type of lock has 4 increasing levels of complexity, and a single security system may incorporate all 3 types of locks. Low security is average at 15, medium security is at difficulty 20, high security is very difficult at 25, maximum security is nearly impossible at 30. Card lock decryptor. The probe of this device is inserted into a card lock instead of the normal card. A decryptor operates by adding +5 to your basic tech, electronic security, and 1d10 skill check against the lock. VOC decryptor, a vocal modulator for penetrating vocal locks. See above. Security scanner. This device searches out electromagnetic fields generated by various alarm systems, 75% chance of revealing the location. A tech or intelligence role may be needed to identify the style of alarm encountered. Poison sniffer can be set to check air or liquid for a specific poison. Otherwise, it will simply alert you to a foreign substance, 85% accuracy. Jamming transmitter. Usually comes in 2 or 3 large cases, but can fill an entire van. Jams electromagnetic transmissions in a 1,000-foot area. That includes cellular phones and some cyberware. Scanner plate, a reading device for palm print locks can be attached to any type of card or vocal lock to add an extra layer of security. Movement sensor, a typical alarm system, covers seismic, sonar, and fixed IR or visible light networks, detects movement in a defined area with a 95% reliability. The sensory processor is about the size of a pack of cigarettes. Pass card, the most common unlocking device for a card lock. Tracking device, handheld or suitcase equipment for detecting or following. Tracer buttons, ranges 1 mile. Tracer buttons can be any size from a matchbook to a pin. Uses radioactivity or constant pulse radio transmission to pinpoint who or what it's attached to. Some can be turned on/off remotely, usually bought in sets of 6. Handcuffs, just what it says, probably a little stronger, a nearly impossible task to break due to new alloys, often 50% open with a form of card lock. Strip tape binders, great for riot control. One-use only plastic locking strips for temporary handcuffs and leg ties, very difficult to break, with ceramic fibers to resist cutting and guaranteed fireproof. Come in boxes of 12. Medical, dermal stapler. This automatically pulls the sides of a wound together and sutures it with staples of a compressed organic material that dissolves after an elapsed time. Spray skin, a putty-like spray gel for treatment of severe aberrations. Antiseptic and sterile, it's also air permeable and flakes off in about 2 weeks. Cryotank, an advanced refrigeration tank. The cryotank will cool a body down to preservation levels while life support machines maintain the blood oxygen flow. Designed to keep a dying body in relative stasis. Medkit, standard doctor's or military corpsman's bag. It contains antidotes, dressings, drugs, applicators, medicines, and examining instruments such as probes, depressors, ocular light, stethoscope. Surgical set. A full set of surgeon's tools, scalpel, retractor, probe, clamp, tweezers, etc., and chemicals or equipment for maintaining a sterile operating field. First aid kit, the common household medic's box. It has bandages, antiseptics, and a simple painkiller. Slap patch, a small plastic pad containing a measured amount of medicine. The pad is applied to the skin and the medicine is absorbed in steady doses. See the trauma team section for drugs and prices. Air hypo. The Bones McCoy uses a quick burst of compressed air to force a liquid drug through the skin. See the trauma team section for drugs and prices. Med scanner. Readouts for body temperature, heart rate, blood pressure, respiration, and blood sugar levels. A small chip database adds a +2 to your diagnose skill. Drug analyzer. Ranging in size from a book to a briefcase, this gadget operates in a manner similar to a chemical sniffer. It will determine the purity of a drug with a known composition, or identify the molecular makeup and possible effects of an unknown substance that is similar to a drug already programmed into its library. Furnishings. Nylon carry bag. The athletic bag/kit bag of the 2000s with a variety of logos to choose from. Sizes vary. Sleeping bag. They're lighter weight and now can take temperatures down to -100 degrees Fahrenheit. Compresses to a 12-inch by 6-inch by 4-inch wad. Inflatable bed, self-inflating, highly compressed mattress package, about 6 inches by 2 inches by 4 inches, folded. Real wood furniture/synthetic furniture. What more can we say? Futon, portable folding bed and pad of Japanese origin. Apartment cube, 10 feet by 10 feet by 8 feet. Living module in which all major furnishings and appliances are hidden in flush wall recesses and are extended only for use. Contains bed, closet, small stove, refrigerator, TV, and digital entertainment center. 2 chairs, fold-down desk, removable table. Rolls into place and can be easily transported. Cubes are usually so small that if you had all your furnishings extended at once, there'd be no room for you to stand. Lamp, it gives light. Comes in an infinity of shapes and colors. Cleaning bot, small pre-programmed robotic cleaning device, usually about the size of a portable canister vacuum. Not too smart. Vocal switching system, voice-activated controls for lights and appliances. Vehicles, following our typical vehicles of the 21st century. For specific models, see All Things Dark and Cyberpunk pages 180 through 182. Scooter, this is an updated electrically powered version of the old Riva and Vespa motor scooters of the 1990s. Top speed is about 50 miles per hour. Scooters can get about 6 hours of travel per fast charge, about 5 minutes at any service station. Motorcycle. These are updated versions of standard motorcycles. Most are recumbent designs with plastic fairings that close over the driver. About half are electrically powered with top speeds of 65 miles per hour and about 8 hours of travel per fast charge. Chew 2 powered versions have a top end of 140 miles per hour and a 4-gallon tank.
City car, one man, two in a pinch, three-wheelers common in the corporate zones, top speed about 40 miles per hour with 4 hours travel per fast charge. City cars can also be rented at 2 eddies per mile from convenient kiosks located around most corporate areas. You use your debit card to rent from the vendor, drive where you want, and drop the car off at the nearest vendor. Small subcompact, usually methanol or Choo-2 powered, these vehicles have a top speed of around 90 miles per hour, a 10-gallon tank, and seat 4 in relative comfort. Medium sedan, methanol or Choo-2 powered, these vehicles have a top speed of around 90 miles per hour, a 15-gallon tank, and seat 4. Sports car, almost always Choo-2 powered, electrics just don't have the speed, top speed of about 210 with a 10-gallon tank, seats 2. Luxury sedan, methanol or Choo-2 powered, these vehicles have a top speed of around 90 miles per hour, a 20-gallon tank, and seat 6. Fast charge, rapid 5-minute battery recharge for electric vehicles, available at most service stations for 20 eddies per charge. Choo-2, synthetic meta-alcohol fuel, about 1d6 divided by 3 plus 1 euros per gallon. The cost fluctuates wildly due to supply, demand, and eco-terrorist activities. Lifestyle, data term, this is a curbside computer terminal with access to news, weather, city maps, event schedules, and other useful stuff. A data term can also be used as a plug-in point to the net. Terms are mounted in concrete pillars and are nearly indestructible theoretically. Cred chip account, a debit card that you can use to carry your cash around instead of a wallet. Air, just what it says. In the US, Britain, and some parts of Eastern Europe, the daily pollution gets so bad that you need to go to a miscellany of air bars, vendors, or street corner machines to buy a decent breath. Groceries, kibble, a mass-produced nutrient that satisfies most requirements for sustenance, but tends to look, smell, and taste like dry pet food it takes its name from. Generic pre-pack, a step up from the common TV dinner. These meal packs can be microwaved or refrigerated depending on what's inside. Many come with their own chem tabs for heating or cooling. The cuisine isn't inspired, but it beats kibble. Good pre-pack, good restaurant meals in a package, the best quality pre-made meals you're gonna find. For anything better, eat out or prep it yourself, and who really knows how to do that anymore? Fresh, you know what this is. Well, at the very least you've met someone who's eaten it. Housing, coffin, one step up from a sleeping bag on the street, a stacked accommodation which resembles its namesake. These sleeping boxes are found in airports and flop houses worldwide. Usually coin operated with a time limit, the coffin gives you just enough room to turn around or read in bed. Restroom accommodations to be found elsewhere. More expensive models will have a phone or mini TV inside. The new BMW Infiniti Aerodyne, 15,000 pounds of raw thrust, available on-demand cyber avionics, and the most sophisticated audio system ever installed in an AV7. BMW Infiniti, you can't call yourself a cyberpunk until you bought one. Radio ad, 2019.
Okay, so that was section 5, all the items and equipment you could possibly get in the dark future of 2020. And like what I was saying before, your occupation reflects how much money you actually get for buying all these wonderful and neat items. It will go into more detail about being indebted to a company or a corporation or a government or a loan shark to get more money for more cool things at the expense of a narrative punishment for being under the thumb of some guy bigger than you, or being under threat, or having a timer to play with your new toys. But I just find it a little vexing that one stat controls so much potential start for you that why wouldn't you want to invest in it? Earlier in section 4, they gave the example that Johnny Silverhand should have a perform ability or a play instrument ability, I can't remember which, because if he tries to play a crowd and he has terrible skills, he wouldn't get paid or they would boo him. But how does that reflect in actually generating the character? I don't know. You probably just kind of have to vibe it. I like the simplified carry system. The amount of guns that you can choose from are great. They're very diverse. And there's so many different exotic weapons, I didn't think they'd be able to name as many as they did. Assuming that since they're measuring the game's range by meters, I'll assume that 1 meter is a meter by meter cube, so like a 5-foot cube in D&D. So the fact that they have reach weapons is pretty cool. I saw that even the chainsaw had 2 meters of range, the same as a naginata.
I'll be happy once we get to the Friday Night Firefight system, because I personally think it's one of the best systems for armor in any game I've ever experienced or read. I really don't like the way they do armor in D&D, where it's either just a hit or a miss. It doesn't make sense to me. It makes sense to me that as armor gets torn up, that it's going to be less usable and less applicable. It's kind of funny now that I'm reading this in the year 2026 and all the retro tech is pretty dated in terms of concept, which of course isn't a problem. I'm sure Cyberpunk Red system would have probably fixed this in terms of technology availability, the size, and how futuristic it seems to a modern audience. And this section was wonderful for a bit of lore dumping, a bit of learning about the existence of the world and what certain things of quality look like and what certain things of poverty look like. And it's very nice too that they separate equipment from cybernetics. That way, if you don't want to go full cyborg, you can just have different options. It'll probably be a bit bulkier to carry around and unconcealable. For example, the vision goggles for any type of vision that you'd want. But at the very least, it wouldn't eat into your humanity, which you might have very low of. I don't know the practicalities of the personal electronics and fashion. It's a nice way to add some flavor, but in terms of usability, it's not going to serve much. Kind of like how certain items in D&D serve only really flavor and not really function. Like the alms box in the priest pack. Stuff like that. You can tell by the amount of guns that they provided and their backgrounds and the history behind them that whoever made this was a really big gun nut. I'm assuming Mike Pondsmith didn't write all this single-handedly. He probably had collaborators who helped give him facts about guns. But like the fun fact about the Uzi, I had no idea about that. That was really cool to learn. The way they give weapon codes for the guns and the melee weapons, just all the weapons, is a bit confusing to someone. I think if you're going to do weapon codes, you should probably just do numbers instead of letters. It's hard to keep track of all the different acronyms that go to different codes. So like availability has excellent, common, poor, and rare, and that's a lot of codes to keep in mind for one simple thing. Concealability has 4, reliability has 3, which I think is a bit better. I think you're going to have to be coming back to this page a lot to unravel what the codes mean, unless you just really, really like this sorting system and know exactly from a glance how you can decipher it. Other than the hyper-condensed way of how they deliver the information to you, I think it's pretty straightforward and reasonable and makes a lot of sense. So, all in all, I'm excited to gear up for the dark future of 2020. Until next time.